This is how I run my life productively, and I swear by it. I love January. New beginnings, a fresh start, infinite possibilities, excitement, planning, progress, hope. But it can also feel difficult. As this year drew to a close, I felt a feeling of disappointment. I hadn't hit the goals I'd set last January, and I started to feel pressure and panic that I had to make up for failed goals from last year, as well as accomplishing new ones this year. So I had a talk with myself and made a plan to get rid of that pressure. And so this month, we're going to spend the next 4 weeks resetting our minds and building happy, healthy, productive habits that will see us through the whole year. For me, this is the perfect time for a fresh start, a complete life reset. Let's head into next year the right way to make it our very best year yet. To me, ambition is such a great thing. I think being ambitious and driven are such amazing qualities to have, but I think it's really important, especially at the start of a new year when we're setting goals for ourselves, to really question whether we are feeling intrinsically or extrinsically motivated when we're setting our goals for the year. Put really simply, intrinsic motivation is when we are motivated from within, from our own internal factors. Being intrinsically motivated is when we set a goal for fun, because it's engaging, because of the joy that comes from doing it. And in short, it's really doing something for the inherent satisfaction that we get from it. In contrast, extrinsic motivation comes from external pressures. Typically that's because we want some kind of reward from an outside source, whether that's from gratification from somebody else, or whether it's because we want to avoid punishment, so fear of failure, for example. From December into January, we are bombarded with so much external noise, from endless diet plans and workout schedules, to hustle culture and motivational quotes, to video montages of people's highlight reels of their year, and it looks like they live the most incredible, fulfilling life. And usually these end of the year wrap-ups, which are so lovely and they're such a nice thing for each of us individually to do and create and have that memory of how we spent our year. But sometimes when you're on the receiving end, it can make you feel like your next year needs to do more, be better, be bigger. And I really, really want to challenge yourself this year when it comes to setting your goals for January, when we do our reset for a new year, to really go within and think to yourself, what brings me joy? What is it that makes my life feel fulfilled? What is it that makes me happy? And what is it that I want to fill my life with more of next year? So if there are any goals that you potentially didn't hit last year, that you're starting to feel a bit of self-doubt or some of that failure mindset starting to creep in around, just like I've been feeling over the last couple of weeks, or if you're just starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed with all of the noise that's going on around this time of year, then I really, really want this to be a super safe space for us to stick together and also still feel really ambitious. Like, just because I'm feeling a bit intimidated, it doesn't mean that I don't want to be super ambitious and excited and full throttle into a new year. So that is exactly what we're going to do over the next few weeks. This is going to be a super safe space for us to share our goals together, for us to plan together, for us to get excited together, and for it all to come from within each of us. So I hope that doesn't sound too cheesy, but that's what I'm aiming for in January. Let's get started with our goal setting for a new year. Okay, step one for me when it comes to goal setting. First of all, I love to goal set throughout the whole year. I like to goal set each month. I like to goal set each quarter, whatever feels right for me. Goals always keep me honest, they keep me on track, they keep me productive. I love them. In January, I cannot think of a worse time to be restrictive with ourselves. It's cold, it's pouring with rain. Just spent the last couple of weeks with our families and our friends, and we've likely left them now to go back to wherever we live. And I just think to be restrictive at this time of year is a truly, truly awful idea. So our goals in January come with an extra dose of love compared to the rest of the year. I think it's super, super important to go into a new year with a lot of love for ourselves. So for me, when it comes to goal setting, or when it comes to resetting, I have a methodology that I split into 3 key sections: pause, reflect, and plan. To me, this is super easy to remember, it's easy to chunk it up, and to me it sets the foundation right for really, really productive goal setting. So step 1, pause. This is where you spend as much time as you can physically give yourself. If you can have a whole day, pure luxury. If you can only have a couple of hours, we take what we can get. But it's an opportunity for us to pause, think about us and ourselves and what truly makes us happy. So that's forgetting all external advertising where you think to yourself, oh my gosh, if I just had the UGG Ultra Minis, I would be so happy in my life. No, no. This is what truly, truly makes you happy. What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite hot drink? What's your favorite way to spend your time? Do you love going for a run? Do you love taking a bath? Do you like reading your book? Do you like cuddling your dog or your cat? What is it that makes you feel really good for your specific personality? And spend a few hours doing that. Spend a few hours or a whole day if you can, truly, truly getting back to you. It's so, so easy to skip this pause section and dive straight into pen and paper, writing stuff down, setting new goals. But I think it's so important, as we were talking about with the intrinsic and extrinsic motivators when it comes to goal setting, I think it's so important to really get back to basics with who we individually are. We're all so different, and the things that we love and like are all so different. And I really, really, really think it's important for us to get back to that. So when we set our goals, they're built on a foundation of what's important to us and not what we think is important to us because we've watched way too many That Girl videos, which I'm 100% guilty of, and then we all think that we all like the same things and all of the same things are going to motivate us and keep us productive and keep us fulfilled and happy, and it's just not true. So we spend our day doing our pause. We then reflect. Now, when we come to New Year goal setting, the reflect section is pretty chunky. We're reflecting on a whole year, and so much can happen in a year. For me, my reflect was a little bit different this year. Usually what I do is I reflect, I go through the goals that I set from the last year and see which ones I accomplished, which ones I didn't, which ones I want to include in my goals for the new year if I didn't hit them the year before, which ones I want to build on, and just generally sit and take in the year and think about all the growth I've gone through, all the new lessons I've learned, all of my favorite experiences from the year before, some of the tough times and what they taught me. This year was crazy tough. I went through an impossibly difficult breakup. Within the space of a year, I had a breakup at the beginning of the year, and by the end of the year, I'm in a new relationship, and it's amazing. It just shows you things can change so, so quickly. But all that to say that for me, my goals from last year, I didn't hit a lot of them. Really, last year was just about getting through it, living alone, which I've never lived alone before. That's not a goal I set for myself last year, but you can bet anything that when it comes to me reflecting on last year, even though it wasn't a goal that I necessarily set, life is fluid, I'm gonna be writing down that I hit a goal of loving living alone. So when you come to do your reflecting, review your goals from last year if you set them. If you didn't set goals last year but you want to set goals this year, then make a list of all the things you accomplished last year that you're super proud of, and really just sit and reflect on the year. Once we finish our reflect and we're feeling so good about everything we achieved last year, we can then enter our goal setting. So when it comes to the new year, I like to set goals in a number of different ways. I split them into 3 categories. I have personal, financial, and career goals. And that's always how I like to set my goals, and that's how I split them up into those 3 buckets. I also then at the beginning of the new year love to do a vision board, which I'll talk about a little bit more. So starting off with financial, I always set a savings target every year, which was actually one of the goals that I hit last year, which is awesome. I am hoping for a promotion at work next year, which will come into my career goals. But because I am hoping for a promotion at work, it means that I will have some extra money that I want to then save. Part of my financial philosophy, I want to be really conscious of the fact that as my salary increases, as my income increases, I don't want to just fritter that money away on new extra stuff. For me anyway, I'd always want to spend my money on new experiences, but I feel like the level of experiences that I'm getting each year at the moment is awesome. So for now, for next year when I get a promotion, I really want to try, and I know I am a bit of a sucker for new things, and I am a bit of a sucker for luxuries in life, so I need to be strict with myself. But honestly, I am so content with the life that I'm living, I don't need more stuff. So for me, all of my extra salary, if I do get my promotion, is to go into savings. So I'm setting my savings target for next year, and I also want to focus on building my credit rating, because at the end of next year and heading into the following year, so I'm thinking quite far ahead, I am planning to move house. So at the moment I'm in this flat and I do want to move into a slightly bigger space next year. And to do that, I need solid savings and a good credit rating. So those are my financial goals for next year. Okay, second one is career goals. So my main career goal for next year, honestly, is getting promoted. I am a people consultant working for a large corporate firm, and the program that I'm delivering at the moment is getting bigger and bigger. My responsibilities are getting higher and higher, and honestly, that means that I should be on track for a promotion. So I'm hoping to get promoted within the first half of next year. Getting promoted is such a process, and I think you really do have to ask for what you deserve, and you have to start laying the groundwork to indicate that you will be asking for what you deserve super early so that it's in the right people's minds. So I need to start laying that foundation at the beginning of the year, and then hopefully by about halfway through the year, I'll have ticked that off my list as getting promoted, which is so exciting. I never really know whether YouTube fits into my career or personal goals. I really like my corporate job, but I'm also really loving YouTube, so it kind of straddles the two, I guess, because it's kind of a hobby, but maybe it could go somewhere in the future. I truly don't know. But I also want to grow my YouTube subscribers. YouTube subscriber growth is a really, really difficult metric to set because you never really know how YouTube growth is going to go. So for me, I think of trying to set a specific subscriber count as a goal. It's kind of the same thing as saying like, I want abs. It's like, well, let's not say that we want abs. Let's say that we want to build consistency in going to the gym. And so for me instead, in order to hit a higher subscriber count, whatever that may be, for me, it's just building consistency with uploading to YouTube. So my second goal is just to remain consistent with once a week, to push it up to twice a week where I can. For me, having a corporate job that is super demanding, to be honest, it's hard enough doing once a week, but I love it so much that I am super committed to doing once a week. And where I can do twice a week, I will do twice a week. The more content I can push out, the better. But it's setting goals that make me feel excited about the new year without making me feel too much pressure. And I think if I set the goal of twice a week, that would just feel a little bit too overwhelming to me. And to be honest, I'd probably fail, which then doesn't feel so good either. So once a week on YouTube and getting promoted in my corporate job are my two career goals for next year. And then it's personal goals, which honestly are the most fun. So one of my goals going into the new year is traveling. And honestly, I can already say that I've kind of ticked that off my list. If nothing super dramatic goes wrong, I'm going to South Africa in the first half of the year. My new boyfriend is actually South African. So we're going to be going back to his home and spending a couple of weeks exploring South Africa, which will be so incredible. I am so insanely excited, but I'm putting more travels down on my list for next year, going on a long haul flight overseas. And to be honest, hopefully I've already ticked that off. We've already booked the flights. So if nothing major goes wrong, I've already ticked off a goal. How exciting is that? And I think for travel, you really can do that. I really believe that when it comes to setting personal goals, even if you've already booked the trip for the year ahead, stick it down. You've already done it. Tick. It just means you're ahead of your goals already. Smashing it. So apart from travel and adventures overseas, I've also got continuing to lean into workouts that I love. I do not understand why me and fitness have such a hard time getting along. It's not that I hate it, but I don't love it either. And I find it so hard to build a routine around working out. I just haven't found the workout that I love yet. I haven't found the right cocktailed mix of exactly the exercise that makes me feel great. Honestly, because I work from home mostly with my corporate job, sometimes I go into the office, but a lot of the time I work from home, I need to work out more. My body feels so stale most days because I just sit at my desk at home all day. And because sometimes I can get quite sucked into my job, I just don't move for hours. So either every morning or every evening, I should be doing some level of movement just to make myself feel good, because I don't like the feeling of feeling super sluggish and stale and stiff just because I haven't moved. So I'm going to lean into finding a workout that I love this year. I'm going to try lots of different classes. I'm probably going to sign up to ClassPass, try lots of different things. If there's any particular workout classes or anything that you really love that you think I should try, let me know, because I am hunting for my new fitness community and I am determined to find it this year. Honestly, guys, if next year I come to you and I'm like, I'm not capable of working out, I'm gonna be very disappointed with myself, because it's one of those ones that I do feel a lot of external pressure around. I'm just like, how have so many people fallen in love with fitness and I just can't seem to do it? And I know it's good for me. I know I feel so good when I do it. Where is the discipline? Where is the discipline? I don't have it. I have no discipline when it comes to fitness. And then my last personal goal of the year is to get back into cooking. Cooking and baking is one of my favorite things. If you've been subscribed for a while, you will know that probably last April, March, I started talking about wanting to bake my own bread. I wanted to get myself a sourdough starter and start baking the bread. And then my whole life went crazy and it still hasn't happened. How that's possible, I have no idea. But I'm gonna go and buy some starter and I'm gonna start baking bread again. We're getting back to cooking. And that is my final personal goal, guys. So that is all of the goals that I'm gonna set for the new year. This year, I will be doing quarterly reset videos where I'll be building on those goals and breaking them down into small activities and chunks that I want to complete, and potentially adding new goals to them each quarter as well. So the next thing on my list of things to do when it comes to goal setting is transferring all of the goals that I've currently got saved on my phone to my notebooks. Now, I am such a notebook gal. I absolutely love a good notebook. These are my 4, and I will show you what they are because honestly, I absolutely love all of them, and they all serve a different purpose. It may sound excessive, but I just love them. They make me feel good. They make me feel productive. I really, really, really recommend going and watching Carter Sullivan's goal setting video. I watched hers this morning and we set goals in a slightly different way, but I absolutely loved her visual representation of her goals. So I'm definitely going to go back, rewatch her video and copy some of the ways in which she visually represents her goals on paper in quite an artistic way, I thought. And it just looks really, really satisfying to be able to tick off throughout the year. But yes, these are each of the notebooks that I've got. So some of these are notebooks which I'll capture my goals in, and some of these are planners that will keep me on track and honest with my goals. So the first one is Mind Your Business. This book is honestly just so chic. It's by Nitsan Rata and it's a daily planner. And if I just open up to a random page, she sells the refills. First of all, the book is just so chic. I love it. She sells the refills. For each day, you've basically got something that you're grateful for, your top priorities. You've then got a bit of a to-do list. And then you've got 8 highlights of the day at the bottom of as well, which I just think is so nice. And then if you want to populate today's schedule, you can do that, which I actually use this for weekends because I'm a bit of an organizational freak. In the week, obviously, that really is in my work calendar, so I don't use it for that. But I just think it's so aesthetically pleasing, this book, and it has all the things that I want. I love having really short, succinct priorities. So the fact that she's got top 3 priorities, and to start your day off with a little bit of gratitude with something that I'm grateful for, that's a really nice way to do it for me. I'm not very good at journaling first thing in the morning, so to be able to just have that kind of a bullet is great. So the next thing that I've got is then my Papier weekly planner. Now this planner I really love. So it basically takes my daily view from here into a weekly view here when I want to be able to see everything, kind of all the days at once and the key things that I want to tick off. So in here, you basically circle whichever month you're on, you've got your to-do list down the side, and then you can basically populate the date in here. Often in this one, I'll do kind of the habits that I want to tick off. So for example, if I want to tick off water, workout, fresh air, read my book, etc. I'll pop those in here as like little check boxes for me to tick off. And then I've got my goal setting notebook, which is much smaller because I just put my goals in here. And this one is basically just literally lined paper that I will set all of my goals on. And it's in this type of book that I'm gonna do Carter Sullivan's checkbox of ways to visualize your goals. And then each year, you can see how beaten up this one is because it goes with me everywhere. I just get any old spiral bound lined notebook. I really like these pucker pad ones. It's just lines, and this one, I mean, they go with me everywhere. They go with me by the pool when I'm on holiday. They come with me in the bath when I want to write notes. So it's completely beaten up, and this is where I just write all my to-do lists. This is how I run my life productively. And I swear by it. It really keeps me honest. I love filling out all of the books. To me, writing notes in this way and not having them on a laptop or a phone makes me feel super satisfied. So honestly guys, that is it. I'm now gonna go and build my vision board. I started it last night. Doing my vision board is one of my favorite things ever to do. I basically transfer all of the goals I set across finance, personal and career into a visual format, into a visually pleasing format. I also add some keywords. I don't typically set a word for the year, but there are some specific words that, to be honest, are more kind of life words for me. I mean, I think my words have been the same words over the last few years. Consistency has always been a really big one to me. The concept around loving harder, I know that's not one word, but to me, just pouring more love into any of my relationships or any of my communities. And then Mind Your Business is also a really strong one for me. Again, that is the name of Nitsan Rata's business. But to me, the concept of just staying in my lane, focusing on me, blocking out some of the external noise, doing my own thing and loving my own journey. Love harder, mind your business, and consistency. They're not really words for the year, but they're kind of phrases that I try and live my life by. They've been the same for the last couple of years. They're going to be the same this year. So I always pop those in my vision board. I'm going to swap out the pictures. But yeah, otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. As I said, I really want this to be a safe space over the next few weeks for us to reset our minds, reset our lives, and head into a new year feeling so awesome and excited and ambitious, because I just know this year is going to be great. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Have an amazing week. If you do have any particular goals that you want to share, please do let me know down in the comments. And workout classes. Let me know if you've got any good ones you think I should take, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye guys.